50 tayo.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad,
50 si Manny.
Para sa 100% pagbabago,
50 si Manny.
para sa 100% paglilingkod,
50 si Manny.
Kanipaya.
para sa 100% Pinas.
50 ka.
50 tayo! 50 si MP! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Para sa atlitang Pilipino.
Para sa kabataang Pilipino.
Para sa kababaihan, para sa pamilyang Pilipino.
Para sa kinabukasan. At ito po ang MPBL Party List number 77 sa balota.
Lagi mong sinisiguradong patas. Lagi mong inuuna kung anong dapat. Hindi mo kayang malunok ang katotohanang marami pa rin tayong kababayang gutom at walang tahanan. Kaya hindi ka tumigil sa paglaban. Harapin ang kahirapan. Tulungan ang nangangailangan. Basagin ang korupsyon na kanilang nakasanayan. Sa loob at labas, man ng Pinas, bakas na bakas ang iyong tapang puksain ang mga problema ng bansa. Gamit ang lakas, gamit ang isip, gamit ang puso. Kung para sa mamamayang Pilipino, si MP, wala yang sinisino. Manny Pacquiao.
Valoria goes left. Valoria flips it up and in! Hard at Lamar, but Lamar gets the step and the finish. Hail Mary. June Manzo will fire. Oh my goodness! June Manzo all the way from Serrano, Bebuelo, Serrano with the basket. Fuentes, no hesitation, gets it to go! No! Obisto, yeah! Jason Obisto with the putback!
For the second time in 4 days, the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League goes to the Olivares College Gymnasium. And in our first game, we have Jutel Fuentes and the South Division champions, Quezon Huskers, look to build another winning run, and they will take on Robbie Manalang and the rest of Pasig City, who have hit their stride to begin their campaign this season. And we have a doubleheader for today, just before the Holy Week. We have the Quezon Huskers taking on Pasig City, and our main game, Pasay Voyagers, they will square off against the Parañaque Patriots. Magandang gabi mga kaliga, Ken Panglingan with Javi Palanya. Javi, no? This is the last game day just before the Holy Week. What do you think of our matchups for today?
Well, this is a good matchup for our first game. Una, ang Pasig, wala pang talo to begin the season. This is going to be their first real test to begin the year going up against the Quezon Huskers, one of the top teams in the Southern Division. Sa second game natin, that's going to be another exciting matchup since Parañaque wala pang panalo and they hope to get their first win of the season dito sa kanilang home floor here at Olivares.
And of course, you could watch us live on our official Facebook page and YouTube channel. And also, we are on Solar Sports every Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays starting at 6 p.m. And we now introduce our third member of our panel. We have Miss Lyra Punsalan. Lyra, kumusta so far? Ito, especially Quezon Huskers, kaagaling lang sa kanilang bounce back win in their last matchup.
You know what, Ken and Javi, I feel so blessed hearing all about the Quezon Huskers team huddle earlier today. Nag-share si Coach Eric about the Palm Sunday's revelation to their team that they're coming to the court today inspired by the meekness and humility of Jesus coming to Jerusalem daw. Para sa kanila, ang paglalaro daw nila, ang way of worship nila, and it's all about keeping the game strong for the team today. Coach Eric added that they focused a lot on polishing their execution for the past few days, as well as rediscovering their burning fire of passion dahil ayaw na daw nilang magkamali at madapa kamukha ng pagkataba nila sa Pasay Voyagers. He also mentioned na importante sa kanyang mental tenacity ng mga players na kaya he aims to keep the bond strong to alternate inspirational talks during trainings. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Lyra, and very timely, no? Especially we're heading into the Holy Break, Javi. But no, mga kalaban nila, itong Pasig City, not a pushover. And syempre, Javi, yesterday we were at the Paco Arena in Manila. We were treated to a lot of close finishes. Bacolod snapping their 27-game losing streak dating back to last season. Pero ito, no, Caloocan, another comeback win, this time against Rizal.
Well, malas lang dito ang Marikina kasi sila wala pa silang panalo to begin the season. They lost against Bacolod in that first game, as you mentioned. Cebu was able to get a crucial victory there against Quezon City. Well, itong Rizal surprisingly losing to Caloocan in close fashion.
And Caloocan was trailing by 6 entering the last 2 minutes of that game, but just clawing their way back at naipanalo nila yung laban na yon against Rizal. So ngayon titignan natin ang ating team standings in the North Division. Of course, Nueva Ecija still at the top, pero Pasig City, one of the 4 remaining teams na undefeated dito sa ating torneo.
And we're gonna find out today if they will stay unbeaten and try to join the leaders at the top. San Juan and Nueva Ecija, wala pang talo dito sa Northern Division. While Marikina and Bulacan still struggling to find their first loss to begin the year, but this is going to be a long season. That goes for all of the teams that still are trying to find their stride to begin the year.
Samantala naman for the South Division, as a result of the loss of Rizal yesterday and last week, itong Zamboanga, itong Quezon, may pagkakataon to get a foothold at that number 1 spot, Javi.
Yeah, after a very strong start to the season para sa Rizal Golden Coolers, getting those 2 losses in their past few games was a bit painful para sa kanila kasi they lost hold of the top spot in the South. That brings Quezon to the top of the Southern Division. And now, Quezon looking to gain more separation against those teams na nasa baba nila.
And well, in their last game against Quezon City, this was coming off the heels of that painful loss that they had against the Pasay Voyagers. They led here by 10 at the half, Javi, pero pagdating ng third quarter, they began to pull away and the experience really showing para dito sa Quezon.
Yeah, in fairness to Quezon City, they were trying to keep in step for the first half, pero sa third quarter, Coach Eric Gonzalez gave them a really inspiring message at the dugout to help them go hard in the start of the second half and create that separation that they needed. Although medyo nakahabol ng konti yung Quezon City in that fourth quarter, the lead was just too big for them to overcome. And you see those numbers earlier, the Quezon Huskers really played as a solid team in those third and fourth periods to be able to hack out that victory.
And they will take on a Pasig City squad brimming with confidence on the heels of their first 2 games na parehong panalo, yung una laban sa Bacolod and here against Bulacan, and just really showing out first quarter pa lang dito.
They won against Bacolod by 10, 64-54, but this was a very dominant showing para sa kanila, showing their strength both inside and outside, especially on the glass. Isipin mo naman, kailan ka ba makakita ng team na makaka-attempt ng 101 attempts in a game from the field? And they were able to convert 43 of that for 42.6% from the field, dominated the glass totally 72-43. And di nyo na makikita dyan, the 31 assists that they had on those 43 made field goals was just simply impressive para dito sa koponan ni Coach Aldrin Morante.
Alright, it's Quezon versus Pasig City in our first game. Let's turn you over to Miguel Pere for the starters.
The first game of our Thursday doubleheader here at the Olivares College Gym in Parañaque City. Today's first game features Quezon Huskers and Pasig City. This is the 2025 Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Season 7. Let's carry on the starting fives, beginning with the Quezon Huskers. Starting at forward number 41, Joshua Yero. Also at forward number 93, Vince Magbuos. Coming in at center number 22, Joseph Gabayni. One guard number 13, LJ Gonzalez. Also at guard number 2, Judel Fuentes. The head coach for the Quezon Huskers is Eric Gonzalez. Assistant coaches Richie Dixon, Ed De La Torre, Luis Velasco, Jonathan De Guzman, Nash Rosella, Bernard De Guia, and Jeric Teng. Team managers Attorney Don Kapunan. Now, the starting five for Pasig City. Starting at center, number 6, Lester Reyes. Forward number 88, Rocky Asidre. Also at forward number 28, Chito Jaime. One guard number 25, Christian Rivera. And a two guard number 7, Robbie Manalang. The head coach for Pasig City is Aldrin Morante. Assistant coaches, J.R. Villanueva, Lance Inco, and Richard Rosales. Team owner, Mr. Buddy Encarnado. Reference for this ball.
Our starting five brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Quezon with the backcourt of LJ Gonzalez, Judel Fuentes up front, Joseph Gabayni, Vince Magbuhos, and Joshua Yero. For Pasig City, Christian Rivera, Robbie Manalang at center, Lester Reyes, and at the forward spots, Chito Jaime and Rocky Asidre. Referees for this ball game, Ray Gabriel, JR Francisco, Mike Kinay, and Ron Baluyot.
As is the common practice of Coach Eric Gonzalez, another different starting unit to begin this game para sa Quezon Huskers. Going with Gabayni back into the starting lineup, as well as Joshua Yero, obviously Judel Fuentes and LJ Gonzalez. They have been fixtures in that starting lineup. Itong Pasig rin naman, nagpalit ng konti ng kanilang starting lineup. Christian Rivera, who had a wonderful game in their last match against Bulacan. He scored 10 points. He steps into the starting lineup para sa Pasig City.
And if I'm not mistaken, Javi, this is the very first season of Christian Rivera with the
Correct.
MPBL. And he has really showed out for Pasig. But speaking of showing out, right off the bat, LJ Gonzalez with a reverse layup.
Showing no signs of that ankle injury that he endured during their last home game a few weeks ago. Obviously, you're seeing by the way that he moves, that he's moving so well right now. And nabalik na agad yung kanyang explosiveness and athleticism.
Coming off that game where he had 8 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks in 21 minutes against Quezon City. So putting in the numbers, Chito Jaime against Vince Magbuhos. Jaime backing him down, hook shot, short, battle for the ball, it ends up with Quezon. LJ gets it to Magbuhos, back to LJ, laban kay Robbie Manalang. Two-man game between him and Magbuhos, but Gabayni cuts in and scores.
I think Joseph Gabayni's presence here will be very crucial para dito sa Quezon Huskers. He is one player that I don't think any Pasig City player can match up against one-on-one. When you see him cutting like that on those slot cuts going to the middle, you give it to him, and for sure, he can overpower the defense, especially if it's not Lester Reyes in front of him. At that time, only Christian Rivera ang nakasalubong sa kanya doon because Reyes had to rotate on the other side due to the drive that was made.
Christian Rivera, 31 years old, from South Cotabato, moved to Philadelphia when he was 14 years old, and here thriving under Coach Aldrin Morante.
Had a good all-around game in that match against Bulacan. 10 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists.
LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL. 2 for 2 at the line for Christian Rivera. 4-2 Quezon. 8.5 to go here in the first quarter. Gonzalez, this time against Christian Rivera. Fuentes, no foul call. Rivera recovers, gets it to Robbie Manalang.
You can see how valuable Christian Rivera will be to this team para sa Pasig this entire season. He brings a lot of versatility, the height, the energy as well. You saw it on the save to generate this possession for Pasig City.
Lester Reyes, pumukol sa tres, wala. Nakuha ni Robbie Manalang yung offensive rebound. Christian Rivera putting the ball on the floor, kicks it out to Robbie Manalang, peeks at the clock. Floater does not go. Rebound LJ Gonzalez. Tatakbo dito ang Quezon. Fuentes. No good.
A lucky break there for Pasig City.
Lester Reyes. Laban kay Joseph Gabayni. Ang labas papunta kay Chito Jaime. Having trouble with that dribble handoff. Ball stolen away by LJ. The escape act and the finish.
He's just so good with that gather step. Once he goes high up in the air and when that sudden hop goes to play, mahirap na sa pigilan doon. You could see the defense of Quezon really making it tight para dito sa Pasig City, setting up their offense. They're covering every two-man game so well, and they really have been able to scout the tendencies of this Pasig City team well.
Fast break of the game is brought to you by Extreme X Pop, personal karaoke speaker, everyday karaoke.
Nice high gather and finish there para kay LJ Gonzalez against Robbie Manalang.
And Manalang will certainly be challenged on that end. Yung depensa niya, no, masusubukan. Pero yung opensa, walang problema. Robbie Manalang with his first three-pointer.
A battle of two former UAB aces here in the backcourt between Robbie Manalang and LJ Gonzalez. Robbie was a thorn for many teams when he was with the Adamson Soaring Falcons during his time in college. Well, of course, we all know LJ Gonzalez, one of the star players for the FEU Tamaraws.
Ito rin, former Adamson Falcon, Joshua Yero. He could not get it to go. 6-5 is our score. Oh, Rivera, the crossover, but gets blocked.
I thought he got a little bit of the arm there to Joseph Gabayni, but remarkable effort shown there by the big man, making the defensive play on one end and making the rim run to the other side. That's certainly a laudable effort coming from Joseph Gabayni that I'm sure Coach Eric Gonzalez will be very proud of.
3-point lead for Quezon. Under 6 minutes remaining here in the first period. Rocky Asidre. Bounce pass to Chito Jaime. Steps back, takes that free. Masyadong matulis. Quezon trying to run. Quick catch and shoot. Judel Fuentes, no good.
Both teams looking to play quick here to start our game. Especially the Quezon Huskers. They're looking to push the basketball, whether it's a make or a miss.
Christian Rivera up top against Joshua Yero. 7 seconds on their shot clock. Magbuo switching on him. Rivera, nasundutan. Oh, that's gonna be an easy call, unsportsmanlike foul against Christian Rivera.
That's something that he's gonna learn over the course of the season.
3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
Beautiful step back jumper there by Robbie Manalang, something that we've seen so much of already from him here in the MPBL, and one thing that I'm never going to be tired of seeing Robbie Manalang knocking down those jumpers.
Vince Magbuos in his past couple of games has really picked it up, averaging 10.5 points and 4 rebounds on 66.7% shooting from the field. Also played for Adamson. Daming taga-Adamson dito, ha?
Actually, oo nga.
Different generations. 2 for 2 at the line for Vince Magbuos, who came from Nueva Ecija last year. Coach Aldrin Morante, former San Sebastian Golden Stag. And here's the guy who established his new career high. So si Mark Montuano had 26 points off the bench laban sa Bulacan.
I think Mark Montuano is just waiting for that right opportunity to once again jumpstart his career here in the MPBL. And I think this is the opportunity for him, playing for the Pasig City. Nasabi mo na nga, establishing a new career high. He is an all-star caliber player, just not really getting a lot of playing time over the past few years. He played behind bigger names, but obviously the talent is there. We've seen him work hard, and I know that he will be one of the more consistent players for Pasig City this season.
Chito Jaime gets fouled while attacking the rim. He'll go against JP Sarao. Meanwhile, let's check in with Lyra Punsalan.
After the 2 morale-boosting victories for Pasig City, di pa rin daw sila nagsayang ng oras to train hard, lalo na't mabigat ang matchup nila ngayon against the Quezon Huskers. Coach Aldrin gave an emphasis na madami daw silang binago sa depensa and a lot of improvements too sa pasahan ng mga players niya. One notable quote from him, "Wala akong pakialam sa score, just play hard and tough but never play dirty." Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Lyra. And that's the Pasig City brand of basketball. We've heard Javi during the halftime interview, si Boss Buddy Encarnado keeps mentioning about he doesn't care about the wins. He cares about how his players play, and that reflects sa coaching philosophy rin ni Coach Aldrin Morante.
Of course, Boss Buddy Encarnado has been around Philippine basketball for so long already, and he always preaches that kind of game sa kanyang mga players. Gusto niya, lahat ng players niya will be role models to the young people here in the country and to show them the way on and off the court.
They have an interesting mix of players as we see Jason Opiso come in off the bench for Quezon. For Pasig City, you got the veterans there, Chito Jaime, Mark Montuano. And then you have someone like Warlo Batak who has really impressed in their first 2 games. You have a foul against Quezon.
And their wing rotation is very interesting. There are a lot of athletic guys, people who can finish, and also shooters who can knock it down from the outside.
Robbie Manalang, Jerome Garcia, although he has struggled so far to si Jay Gars. Pero, it doesn't take much to get him going. To si Jerome Garcia.
It looks like he's trimmed down compared to last year.
Chito Jaime fakes the handoff. Short on that 3-point attempt. Bola mapupunta sa panig ng Quezon.
And not a lot of leg power on his past 2 shots. Ito si Chito Jaime. Relying a lot on that pulse from the wrist. Both of his last shots have been short.
Christian Pagaran and Al Francis Tamsi nasa loob na rin for the Huskers. Lagrama. Kick out pass. Tamsi open free. Short. Rebound Kilatan. Outlet pass to Jerome Garcia. Robbie Manalang. Quick trigger. Way off.
I don't think that was a very good shot coming from Manalang. Defense was already set. Jay Gars already pulled it out. I think he expected Robbie to set up the table para sa kanila.
Pagaran. Pumukol sa 3. Supply. Foul ang ipipito laban dito sa Pasig City.
Nahuli doon si Mark Montuano with that slight push. Oh no, it's gonna be against Kilatan.
So ball will go back to the Quezon Huskers.
The scoring has definitely slowed down over the past few possessions. I think the last couple of minutes have been very defensive oriented.
Lagrama gets past Kilatan, gets blocked. Sarao, multiple up fakes. Finally draws contact and he'll head to the line for 2 free throws.
Never in a rush, always so calm, always so patient. Ito si JP Sarao. Beat 2 guys there in the interior. Montuano and Chito Jaime couldn't stay disciplined against JP Sarao.
This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. JP Sarao, last season, played for Parañaque. So this is his first time coming back to his former home floor. It was really vital when Parañaque got into the South Division semifinals and lost to the very same team he's part of right now, the Quezon Huskers.
Correct, yeah. He brought a lot of glory to the Parañaque Patriots last year. It was a vital part of that front court rotation of Coach Mike Sagigit.
Garcia, great pass. Montuano is open, turnaround jumper is good.
That's exactly the brand of basketball that Coach Buddy Encarnado, or rather Boss Buddy Encarnado, wants his players to show on the floor. And I'm sure Coach Alden Morante preaches that in his huddles and in practice. And that's why his players really trying hard to show it on the hard court.
Lagrama mintis sa kanyang 3. Our assist of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
That's why coaches never tell you to bite on picks. Obviously, it's easier said than done. But once that happens, it creates a breakdown in the defense. And other teammates of yours have to help defensively, which creates a lot of missed coverages. At that time, it was Mark Montuano who was left wide open. I think that's a turnover against Pagaran. Nice defense coming from Jerome Garcia, who I really am very impressed with his conditioning right now. He looks quicker, he looks more mobile compared to last year.
Warlo Batak is now in for Pasig City. It will be very interesting how he will fare against a much stronger team in the Quezon Huskers. Garcia, sidestep free, short. Rebound JP Sarao. Under 2 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Sarao, tira sa 3, Sablay, rebound, Jerome Garcia. Keith Pito is also in, former Paranaque Patriot. Marlo Batak, laban kay Al Ramsey. Keith Pito. Gustong postehan si Lagrama, and Topeng will be called for that foul.
This is a nice substitution by Coach Andre Morante, putting in Keith Pito. He knows that Keith is very smart in dealing with mismatches at his spot. And he draws a foul that puts Quezon over the foul limit, and that's why Pito will be taking 2 free throws here.
Did not play in their last game last Friday against Bulacan, but did have 14 points, 2 assists against Bacolod.
And he was the player of the game in that match, their first game of the season.
Spent 3 seasons here with the Paranaque Patriots. Pasok yung kanyang pangalawang free throw, so it's 14-9 Quezon. A minute and 29 left in the first period. Gabanal is in, as well as Alvin Abundo. Oh, great look. Francis Tamsi, the basket plus a foul.
At masakit yan kasi pangalawa na yan laban kay Mark Montuano. A little cut underneath there. Nice find as well from Alvin Abundo. May switch na nangyari. That's why Montuano got caught up there. And he was supposed to be the one on Tamsi. He was late.
8-point advantage for the Quezon Huskers. 70 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Montuano hand off to Jerome Garcia. Continues to fire and continues to miss.
I don't mind those shots being taken by Jerome. Those are good looks. That last one was halfway down. He just keeps shooting.
In trouble, Gabanal. Jacob Galicia. Sidestep, lays it up and in.
Nothing much Alvin Abundo could have done there. It's nice defense to offense for Pasig City.
Baba sa 6 ang kailangan habulin dito ng Pasig City. On the lift action, Sarao draws closer. Gabanal picks it up. Rebound, Jacob Galicia. Great outlet pass to Keith Pito. He runs into traffic. Nilabas muna kay Warlo Batak. Balik kay Keith Pito on the right side of the floor. Gets to the paint. Pull-up jumper. No good.
Oh, Montuano only had Abundo on him, but Pasig City couldn't seem to get it to him.
Time winding down in the first corner. Jason Opiso nails a three-pointer just before the buzzer.
The Huskers do have a knack of knocking down those buzzer beaters at the end of periods. Nice recognition in transition by Alvin Abundo, seeing that there was no man that was really near to challenge that shot by Jason Opiso. Jacob Galicia was a bit far away to even bother the shot. Nice shot there by Jason Opiso to end the first quarter.
And at the end of quarter number 1, Quezon Huskers on top 20-11 over Pasig City.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad,
Para sa 100% pagbabago, para sa 100% paglilingkod,
para sa 100% Pinas.
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
The first game of our doubleheader just before the Holy Week break. Quezon versus Pasig City dito po sa loob ng Olivares College Gymnasium. And we have a good-sized crowd on a Tuesday night. Mamaya po maglalaban ng Pasay Voyagers at Paranaque Patriots. Second home game of the Patriots as they try to break out of their early season funk. We have a special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Second quarter underway between the Huskers and Tropang Pasig. And Quezon abante dito ng 9 na puntos, 20-11 sa pagtatapos ng ating first quarter. So the 5 on the floor for Pasig: Warlo Batak, Chito Jaime, Robbie Banalang, Keith Pido, and Jacob Galicia. Keith Pido getting it to Robbie Banalang. Chito Jaime struggling for the field so far. Oh, that's a bit out of control on that pass.
The defensive pressure of Quezon has really been getting to Chito Jaime here in the first half.
We saw the field goal shooting in the first quarter. 20% lang ang Pasig City, samantala 36% naman itong Quezon. Alvin Abundo. Off the ball action. There was a foul called as Gabanal tumbled down the floor.
Pasig City has had trouble running through those screens that have been set by Quezon on their offense. They have to do a better job of communicating and reading into it if they're gonna follow, trail, or switch on those picks.
Turnover though against the Quezon Huskers. A look at the two coaches, Coach Eric Gonzalez and Coach Richie Tixon. Pido off the pin down, Robbie Manalang. Walang give and go action doon. So ball ends up with Jacob Galicia, who takes that jump shot. No good.
That was well challenged by Jason Obiso.
Abundo. Oh, great bounce pass down low to Jason Obiso.
Bridging these two quarters, Abundo and Obiso have been playing beautiful music together. Remember, Abundo was also the one who made the pass to Obiso for that open three-point shot to end the first quarter.
Jason Obiso has scored the last 5 points for the Quezon Huskers. Robbie Manalang. The pass down low to Galicia, back to Robbie Manalang. Can't find the range so far.
They've been getting the shot opportunities, but almost every shot has been well covered. That is enough for Pasig City to get bothered on their shots.
The Quezon Huskers coming into this game, they are the #1 team in terms of the least amount of points given up to their opponent.
Correct, only giving up 59.7 points per game to their opponents, including a lowly 46 points versus a high-powered team offensively like Batangas City.
Our player of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Actually, Ken, itong Quezon, after that, before that loss to the Pasay Voyagers, they have practically won their games all by double figures. 70-46 against Batangas, 58-45 against Cebu, 79-64 against Binyan, and 74-54 against Marikina.
Sa lahat ng opponents sila below 65 points. Pagbuhos, short on that 3-point attempt. 22-11 is our score. Pasig City yet to score in the second quarter. That continues. Batak missing on that 3-point shot.
That's not really his cup of tea.
LJ, that is his cup of tea, that fast break layup. Already has 6 points. Vickers doesn't lead for the Huskers. Jacob Galicia. No handoff to Robbie Manalang. They go at the post. Keith Pido. And Alvin Abundo tried to pull on a chair there. Foul ang tatawag laban dito kay Alvin Abundo. As we check out this fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme X Play on-the-go speaker. Take your music anywhere.
Ito si LJ Gonzalez talaga magdadala niyan. Malamang kahit saan pwede ka makapunta.
3 minutes gone by here in the second period. Lester Reyes returns for Jacob Galicia. So Coach Aldrin Morante naghahanap ng tamang timpla dito. Pasig City, nanlamig na yung kanilang opensa. Robbie Manalang in traffic. Almost losing it. Ball will stay with Pasig City with only 6 seconds on their shot clock.
This is possibly the most experienced 5 on the floor for Coach Aldrin Morante. Of course, save for Chito Jaime, who is on the bench right now. But these are all hardened veterans in the league. Manalang, Montuano, Reyes, Asidre, and Keith Pido. That still can't seem to find the bottom of the net. In double black ay pa sila dito kasi si Mark Montuano matatawagan ng kanyang pangatlong foul.
Yep, Pasig City yet to buy a bucket here in the second period. And to make matters worse, no, you foul trouble na agad. Ito si Mark Montuano.
I think Coach Aldrin will challenge that last foul call.
It's worth of a challenge to see if he can protect Mark Montuano on committing his third foul here. They're down by 13 points, 24-11. Quezon just having their way so far, while Pasig City searching for answers. So pause for a break, we'll be back for the result of the challenge.
Upon review, the challenge was unsuccessful. Call on the floor
Si
stays.
Coach Aldrin Morante. Tingnan natin yung last foul dito.
Watch Montuano there. There was a push. Extension of the left arm that had Rodel Gravera falling to the floor.
So, third foul against Mark Montuano, but he will stay in the ball game.
Well, Coach Aldrin Morante doesn't really have much in his front line. That's why isusugal niya dito si Mark Montuano.
Campanal. Trying to power through Rocky Asidre. Long free from LJ. Doesn't work. Rebound, Mark Montuano.
That would have been very demoralizing had that went in. Hindi na nga sila makashoot at makakatirada pa mula sa malayong lugar. Ito si LJ Gonzalez. But that's certainly a good sign para dito sa tropang Pasig. Montuano hitting that jumper.
Worth it naman so far yung pagsugal dito kay Mark Montuano. Stopping that run by the Quezon Huskers. Under 6 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Gravera, elbow jumper is good.
That's a nice flash by Gravera, creating another option because the initial guy that Gabanal wanted to pass to was Joseph Gabayni. He was well covered on the denial by Lester Reyes.
Robbie Manalang searching for his offense. Still nothing. Lester Reyes gets fouled after getting that offensive rebound. Jacob Balisha coming in.
Nobody on Rodel Gravera that time, Ken.
Watching in from the weak side, Rodel Gravera coming off the bench. Pasig City still searching their offense here. Saan manggagaling yun? Robbie Manalang has really struggled. And that continues. He commits a turnover.
Robbie has played the most minutes on the floor here for Pasig City. Only 3 points to his name so far. Just that 3-point shot in the first quarter. Hindi na nasundan. You take a look at the inside point scoring. 16-2. Plus 14 in that department for the Huskers. That's why they've been so dangerous this year. A ton of options inside and outside.
And that's a welcome sight for the Quezon Huskers as Fuentes pulls up. Doesn't get the bounce, but looks like a goaltend will be called against Pasig City.
Oh, that's offensive interference. That's going to be Pasig City basketball. That shot won't count. It was a Quezon player who tugged at the basket. I think it was Gravera.
Lucky break for Pasig City. But still down by 13 points here, past the halfway point of the second period. Keith Pido gets pushed by Judel Fuentes.
Definitely a push there. He was sticking to him too closely. Did not allow him space.
Rocky Asidre will trigger it in from the sideline. Keith Pido. Hindi available si Robbie Manalang.
I suggest something going inside. Quezon's already in the penalty.
Reyes gets blocked by LJ Gonzalez. A second remaining. A shot clock violation against Pasig City. Walang clear possession when the shot clock expired. But what about LJ Gonzalez climbing the ladder here?
Incredible. Fantastic. How many adjectives can you say about that defensive play by the point guard of the Quezon Huskers, LJ Gonzalez, doing it all para sa Quezon here in the first half.
Fuentes pops out. Gabaini battling down low, and he emerges victorious there. Joseph Gabaini.
Well, Rocky Asidre had a hand on the basketball trying to get it away from Gabaini as if it were loose change. But Joseph Gabaini just too big and too strong.
Hindi nung kapit sa bola. Rocky Asidre gustong bawiin. Doesn't get the bounce. Galicia able to clean it up.
That's a nice heads-up play by Lester Reyes, tapping it to Galicia on the right side.
Gabaini sa poste. Laban kay Lester Reyes. Nakasundot. Ito si Keith Pido. Bumping into LJ Gonzalez.
That's a good call. There was definitely a hold on Keith Pido by LJ Gonzalez. There was initiation of contact by Keith Pido, but take a look at this nice, intelligent play coming from Lester Reyes, one of the more underrated front court players here in the MPBL.
Topeng Lagrama, balik sa loob para dito sa Quezon Huskers. Keith Pido back at the line, who continues. I was about to say to struggle, but apparently getting the bounce on the first free throw. Also played for University of Perpetual Health, System Delta, to si Keith Pido. 28-16. With that 28-17, 11-point lead for the Huskers. JP Sarao comes in. He will replace Rodel Gravera. Nung low-key itong Quezon, no, medyo nagbago na rin yung composition ng team nila, Javi.
They definitely were aching from that loss in the national championship to Pampanga, and they had to retool based on what they saw was lacking from them in that series against the Giant Lanterns. Obviously, they did not have enough to contend with Balti Baltazar, and that's why they really loaded up on bigs and also people who could really stretch the floor para sa kanila. I think those shooters right now, Vince Magbuhos and also a guy like JP Sarao, have really helped them a lot this season. Also putting in guys who can play multiple positions, a guy like Joshua Hierro, Christian Pagaran, and that's why Coach Eric Gonzalez, he already had a bevy of options offensively last year, but now he comes in with a lot more.
The assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Yung mga acquisitions nila during the off-season, very under the radar. You've mentioned those names. Vince Magbuhos, JP Sarao, Joshua Hierro. We have the holdovers, Jodel Fuentes, LJ Gonzalez. Turnover 6-5, Quezon. Rocky Isidre peeks at the clock. 4 seconds remaining. Takes that shot from the outside. Wala. Oh, what a wraparound pass. Keith Pido setting up Lester Reyes.
This is a very ragtag duo, Pido and Lester Reyes. A lot of hustle coming from these two.
30-19, 11-point lead. Pasig just within striking distance here. Lagrama, no good. Nobby Manalang maintains his dribble. Almost making it. Lagrama off to the races. Oh, the slight bump on Isidre, creating space, gets that shot up and in.
Just a wasted opportunity for Pasig City, able to force the turnover. A shot on that last possession could have gotten the lead back down to just 9 points, single digits. But here they turn it over after that shot by Manalang and Lagrama. Intelligent play there on the break, using his body to finish.
Yeah, but timeout, Quezon ahead 32-19. Last game ni Jodel Fuentes kontra Quezon City. 10 points, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 of 8 shooting from beyond the arc. Hasn't really found his stride yet. Ito si Jodel Fuentes. So far has 2 points and 2 rebounds. It's been a low-scoring game so far. 1:40 remaining here in the second quarter. Pasig, hirap na makapuntos. 4 seconds remaining on their shot clock. Manalang in trouble. Lester Reyes puts one up. Ball ends up with Vince Magbuos. The outlet to Jodel Fuentes. Leans in. Doesn't get the back shot to go. Gets it back para dito sa Quezon. They swing it to the other side. Lagrama. Another hip check foul against Jacob Galicia.
That was a foul to give para sa kanila. Only the 13th foul.
Altamsi comes in. Kaya muna si Jodel Fuentes. Very important defensive possession if you're Pasig City.
Yeah, you don't want Quezon to come into the halftime break with a big lead. You want to be able to try and chop this down to maybe 9 or 7 points. That would be very ideal for Pasig City, but I don't think that that's going to be the case. I'm sure Quezon has other things in mind.
That was too easy for Joshua Hierro. This is the biggest lead now for the Quezon Huskers at 15 points. Pasig City only has 8 points to show here in the second quarter before that nice feed from Keith Pido to Jacob Galicia.
So far here in the second quarter, Keith Pido has been able to make plays en route to successful baskets para sa Pasig City.
Third assist from Keith Pido, but his team still down by a baker's dozen. JP Sarao. Mintes yung kanyang tres. Offensive rebound by Topeng Lagrama. Last shot time if you're the Quezon Huskers. Magbuhos. No foul call. And Pasig City has a chance here with 2.4 seconds remaining in the first half. Oh, great pass. Manalang puts it up. That had a good chance of coming in. But Pasig City struggling mightily from the field in the first half. While the Quezon Huskers again putting a masterclass on the defensive end. And as a result, they lead at the half 34-21.
Nanipag 50 tayo.
Para sa 100%'ong pag-unlad,
50 si Manny.
Para sa 100%'ong pagbabago,
50 si Manny.
para sa 100%'ong paglilingkod,
Si Manny.
para sa 100%'ong Pinas.
50 ka.
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Para sa atlitang Pilipino.
Para sa kabataang Pilipino.
Para sa kababaihan, para sa pamilyang Pilipino.
Para sa kinabukasan. At ito po ang MPBL Party List number 77 sa balota.
Lagi mong sinisiguradong patas. Lagi mong inuuna kung anong dapat. Hindi mo kayang malunok ang katotohanang marami pa rin tayong kababayang gutom at walang tahanan. Kaya hindi ka tumigil sa paglaban. Harapin ang kahirapan. Tulungan ang nangangailangan. Basagin ang korupsyon na kanilang nakasanayan. Sa loob at labas, man ng Pinas, bakas na bakas ang iyong tapang puksain ang mga problema ng bansa. Gamit ang lakas, gamit ang isip, gamit ang puso. Kung para sa mamamayang Pilipino, si MP, wala yang sinisino. Manny Pacquiao.
Panipag 50 tayo.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad.
50 si Manny.
Para sa 100% pagbabago.
50 si Manny.
Para sa 100% paglilingkod.
50 si Manny.
Panipag
Para sa 100% Pinas.
50 ka.
50 tayo. 50 si MB. Kahati mo, si Manny. Our score at the half, 34 for the Quezon Huskers and only 21 points for Pasig City. And the Quezon Huskers behind LJ Gonzalez and Joseph Cabaini, they got things going early here for the Huskers. While sa panig naman ng Pasig City, you know, the offense has really hard to come by so far para sa kanila.
Well, the Huskers sticking to their reputation as the best defensive team in the league, only allowing Pasig City 11 points in the first quarter, 10 in the second period, which led them to only shoot 22.6% from the field, while Quezon has been able to make 14 of their 34 shots for 41%. Now, I put the three-point field goal stories here at our halftime analysis to show that Quezon, one of the best three-point shooting teams here in the league, and they actually take a lot of three-point shots, only going for 10 attempts and only been able to make one in that first half. But they've been dominating inside, points inside the paint have been in their favor, 24-8 in that first half.
You saw the leading scorers for both squads. Jacob Galicia leading the way for Pasig City with 6 points. It's good to note, Javi, that you've mentioned how Quezon is one of the leading teams in terms of three-point shooting. In fact, number 4 in three-point attempts, number 5 in three-point mates. Although nagsastruggle nga sila dito, no? Yung points in the paint, binawi naman nila doon. Because in that department, they're only number 27 with only 27.7 points per contest. Pero ngayon, meron na silang 24 inside points. So, medyo nag-flip yung script para dito sa Quezon, and that's why they have a 13-point lead against Pasig City.
Now, the decision right now for Coach Alden Morante coming into the second half as Warlo Bata makes that beautiful drive to the cup is, are they going to stick with them really covering those outside shots, or will they allow more of those outside hits for the Quezon Huskers here in the second half and really try to prevent those shots inside the paint?
That was a good attempt by Warlo Batak, but just couldn't get it to go. Off the pass, there was a foul against Pasig City. This is something that they need to do. Really defend and get in transition. Because they really shot horribly from the field in the first half. Only 22.6%. Ooh! And that shot counts. Joseph Cabaini gets it in.
I thought that ball wasn't supposed to be in play yet.
Kaya galit na galit si Coach Aldrin Morante. He's at the ear of Ray Gabriel now, but Mark Montalvo probably sinks in that three-pointer.
A good start here offensively for Pasig City. Five points to begin this third period para sa kanila. But they have to cover their bases defensively.
Fuentes, one-hander. Well short. And good stop by Pasig City. Mark Montuano nursing 3 fouls as we check out this three-point shot. Brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
Montuano was saddled with foul trouble in the first half, but Coach Alden Morante actually still kept him in that game despite getting 3 fouls. But still trying to argue their case about that last supposedly stoppage of play.
Kasi tumunog yung buzzer but the ball was still inbounded. So hindi prepared yung Pasig on that defensive possession, but still, this is only a 10-point ball game. Mark Montuano. Nasupalpal ni Vince Magbuhos. Francis Stabby in transition. Whips a pass to LJ Gonzalez. All day to shoot. Knocks that one down.
2 different generations of FEU Tamaraos connecting there para sa Quezon Huskers. Nice drive and the kick out para kay Alfrancis Tamsi to set up LJ Gonzalez.
LJ with 9 points. Commits a foul though. Trying to keep in step with Rocky Manalang.
This is usually the other way around. It's usually Tamsi getting those passes from LJ Gonzalez, but that time Tamsi finding his point guard on that right corner for that outside shot.
Each team only with 2 3-point makes so far in this game. Warlo Batak peeks at the clock. 3 seconds remaining. Chito Jaime in traffic. Hook shot goes and in.
First field goal in the game para kay Chito Jaime. He struggled in this game and Jaime is only shooting 1 out of 5 in this game.
Alfrancis Tamsi, the fake. And breaking loose against the defense of Warlo Batak.
He may not have the prettiest shot, but I tell you, he's very, very effective offensively. Tamsi, he's always been known as a scorer.
Balik sa 13 points ang lamang dito ng Quezon. 41-28. Robbie Manalang has struggled in his second game. Turnover again. Gonzalez gets clipped by Keith Pido.
That's a nice foul if you're Keith Pido. You prevent the 2 points and you also stop and put LJ Gonzalez at the free throw line.
Gixer, great move of the game, born for greatness. Basically taking Warlo Batak to school there as Gonzalez mintis yung kanyang unang free throw. LJ Gonzalez averaged almost 10 points per contest last season. So far, 0 of 2 at the line. First guy in double figures with 10 points. Abundo comes in, replacing another CU Scorpion and Jodel Fuentes. 14 points separating these two squads. Pasig City has yet to find their rhythm in this ball game. Galicia, laban kay Jason Opiso, backing him down. The shimmy, turnout shot, no good. Chito Jaime swoops in. Masyadong malakas yung kanyang putback. Keith Pido, backing down. Alvin Abundo sneaks in that layup.
He has certainly breathed a lot of life into this Pasig City squad. Each time Quezon threatens to pull away, Pido pulls them within closer.
Magbuhos left that one short from beyond the arc. Double foul down low. Jacob Galicia and Jason Opiso. Our player of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Pido getting that one over Alvin Abundo. Double foul. Yeah, laban kay Galicia at Piso. Jockeying for position down low. Despite Pasig struggles, they're still in it here. Just down by 12.
Yeah, the effort is there defensively. It's just that Quezon has found ways to fight against the coverages that have been shown by Pasig City here.
The drop inside, Magbuhos. Tapi ka ng bola, mapupunta kay Jacob Galicia.
You see, they forced these kinds of misses. Quezon has not been entirely unstoppable in this game.
Galicia, pinuntahan si Chito Jaime, laban kay Jason Opiso. Jaime puts it up. Can't get it to fall. The cut. Warlo Batak off the glass and in.
That's his calling card. You get him to finish with those kinds of shots. Nice cut. And also a nice feed coming from Keith Pido. Oh, ho, ho.
Abundo gets the bounce after he got that offensive rebound.
Yun lang yung masakit, no? You make baskets already on the other side. Pasig had back-to-back hits on their past 2 possessions, but they gave up a basket which brings this Quezon lead back up to 12.
Robbie Manalang has yet to get it going since nailing that 3 back in the first quarter. Gonzalez crossover. Nasundutan ni Keith Pito. Bagsak si Jason Opiso. Abundo. Left corner free from LJ. Wala. Warlo Batak fighting for it. And gets fouled by Vince Magbuhos.
Impressive effort being shown here in the third quarter by Warlo Batak. He's had 2 baskets and just now generating that possession para dito sa Pasig City. Oh, this is the first time we're seeing Christian Rivera back in the game since starting.
Yeah. Meanwhile, maibalita muna tayo kay Miss Lyra Punsalan.
The first half was indeed overwhelming for Pasig City. In their team huddle, nagtataka at nagtatanong itong si Coach Aldrin why they aren't able to apply yung mga pinag-aralan at pinractice daw nila. He was frustrated as to why, bakit hinahayaan daw ng mga players na magpa-lay-up lang sa harap nilang mga Quezon Huskers na walang depensa. He kept on reminding them to trust their shooters because that's obviously has been their struggle. Ang opensa. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Lyra. And there were a few sequences where there wasn't much resistance dun sa mga layups, itong Quezon Huskers. And they got a lot of points in the paint. Let's see if Pasig City will rectify that here in the second half. 44-32. JP Sarao bumps into a defender and gets that one in.
And this is what Quezon has been doing a lot here in this game. You get Pasig City to play good defense, and then suddenly, late into the shot clock, the Huskers recognize an opening or an opportunity that gives them an easy look or a look that's very much convenient to their liking.
Christian Rivera puts up a 3. Rebound control by Alvin Abundo. Abundo crossover. Oh, what a find inside. Opiso though. That ball stolen away by Rivera. Forward pass to Chito Jaime. Natapikan ni Alvin Abundo. Under 3 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Rivera tries to turn the corner. Swing pass. Batak. Baseline drive. Turnaround jumper. Rolls out. Opiso onto the front court. Sarao. Ilabas muna papunta kay Joshua Yero. Sarao slips inside. The back shot is good. Plus a foul.
The third quarter this season has been a quarter where the Huskers have performed well in over their games.
Assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
And a big reason why is because a number of the players that have been fielded in by Coach Eric Gonzalez in this particular period sa kanilang mga laro this season have really turned it up a notch here in this particular quarter.
JP Sarao, 9 points, 6 rebounds, perfect from the line, 3 out of 3 shooting. This is the biggest lead now for the Quezon Huskers as Pasig City continues to struggle here.
Ay, lumuloban na dito ang kalamangan ng Quezon Huskers.
JP Sarao, up top, hands it off to Alvin Abundo against Warlo Batak. Bounce pass to Jason Opiso. Piso-piso lang.
The Huskers have been making Pasig City work on both sides of the floor. Defensively, Pasig has not been able to keep up with Quezon here, especially this past few possessions in the third quarter. And also offensively, look how the Huskers have been sticking specifically to Chito Jaime like a leech. Kaya naman, when the Huskers try to run, just like in this instance, nahuhuli parate ang mga naka-asul.
And basically, they have taken out Chito Jaime and Robbie Manalang in this ball game. And this lead has ballooned down to its biggest at 21 points.
Simple passing here. Abundo going to Opiso, and the Huskers looking for that high-low. Opiso to Sarao. Sarao, easy finish inside.
We'll pause for a break. We'll be back after this.
Nanipag 50-50 tayo.
Para sa 100%'ong pag-unlad,
50 si Manny,
Para sa 100%'ong pagbabago,
50 si Manny,
para sa 100%'ong paglilingkod,
si Manny,
Nanipaya.
para sa 100%'ong Pinas.
50 ka,
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Our fans here inside the Olivares College Gymnasium as we check out our Gixxer fan of the game, born for greatness. Is that Joem Sabandal on the left side? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's him. Nakatakip yung mukha eh.
Oh.
May pagka-mysterious pa eh.
Special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. 53-32. Pasig City continues to bleed for points here. Just 68 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Jerome Garcia having trouble. A second remaining on their shot clock. Puts that one up. It hits the rim. But ball ends up with Quezon in transition. Abundo skip pass. That was stolen away by Rocky Asidre.
That's a rare turnover here in the third quarter for the Huskers. Coach Eric Gonzalez has gone with them Mantangle to be fielded in here at this particular point of the game and give him some minutes.
Offensive foul against JP Sarao.
Easy call there.
Great space. Coach Eric Gonzalez. And his third season for the Quezon Huskers. They debuted back in season 5. Lost in the first round against Zamboanga. And just last season, went all the way to the national finals. Bowed out against the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. And they have retooled a bit here. Mantagle called for that foul. Kabaini and Banal come in for the Huskers. Rocky Asidre at the line. This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
Nobody yet in double figures here para sa Pasig City. In fact, a lot of those guys who had good scores in that game against Bulacan have been struggling from the field against Quezon tonight. Chito Jaime, Robbie Manalang, Christian Rivera has had a difficult night so far. Rocky Asidre also has not been able to hit his stride.
Time winding down in the third. Shot by Yero, no good. Chance here for Pasig City to end the quarter on a high note. But they failed to do so. And the Quezon Huskers, again, much like in their game against Quezon City, having themselves a huge third quarter. The highlights of the game brought to you by Sip Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
Almost the same actually. Quezon was able to outscore Quezon City 21-10 in that third quarter, and that's almost the case here in this game against Pasig City. 19-13 after 3 quarters in that third period. The score was 19-13, and they did that with suffocating defense and crisp passing offensively.
And now we head into the fourth quarter. The Quezon Huskers with a 53-34 lead over Pasig City. Fourth quarter just about to get underway between the Quezon Huskers and Pasig City. Tropang Pasig came into this game as one of the 4 remaining teams unbeaten so far, but that is in jeopardy as we take a look at the quarter scoring here. Pretty much Quezon dominating Pasig City in all of the quarters, 20-11, 14-10, and then 19-13.
Although, of course, gumaganda yung naging produksyon ng Pasig City to those 3 quarters, 10, 11, and then 13. Pero nakita mo naman, talagang hirap na hirap sila sa lahat ng mga periods na yan. They've been only shooting how many percent from the field in this game? Only 24%. At hindi pa talaga yan umaangat kasi nung first half, that was just around 22% as well. So, konti lang yung naging diferensya kasi yung depensa ng Quezon has also been improving and improving.
And that's always been the DNA of Coach Eric Gonzalez's teams. Even back in Season 5, when they lost in the first round, they were one of the top defensive teams. In fact, last year, they were a top 2 defensive team just behind the eventual champions, the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. And not much different this season. Nagpalit man na ibang mga players, ganun pa din. 55-36. 19-point lead for the Huskers. 5 on the floor for Pasig City. Mark Montuano, Rocky Asidre, Christian Rivera, Jay Gars, Jerome Garcia, and Jacob Galicia. Mark Montuano drills in that mid-range jumper.
Well, he's suddenly getting into a rhythm now. This is not impossible at all for Pasig City, but they're gonna have to really turn it up a couple or 3 notches upwards because this Quezon team is on a whole different level.
Not a good sign if you're Pasig City. Judel Fuentes finding the mark. 20-point lead. Montuano. Almost a steal from LJ Gonzalez. And it finally results into a turnover against Pasig City. Coach Aldrin Morante naghahanap pa rin ng kasagutan dito as we have the fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme Magpalamig free installation for split type air conditioners.
Again, Joseph Gabaini, nobody's stopping him on that rim run.
5 naman ni Coach Eric Gonzalez. You have Judel Fuentes. Same spot, same result. Back-to-back threes from Judel Fuentes.
He could be struggling the whole game, but in the fourth quarter, whatever the score is, you give him those open looks. That guy is a walking microwave.
Fuentes is joined by Vince Magbuhos, LJ Gonzalez, Joseph Gabaini, and Gab Panal. Face-up jumper by Mark Montuano asking for a foul call there. He now has 13 points.
I think he wanted a technical. He claimed he was being face-guarded by Joseph Gabaini. He's on a roll now here in the fourth quarter.
Lone bright spot though for Pasig City. Gabaini face-up jumper, wala. Magbuhos getting the better of Jacob Galicia. Count it plus a foul.
Outmaneuvered, outsmarted by Vince Magbuhos. Ito si Jacob Galicia on that box out play. This was the miss by Gabaini. It rims out and then Galicia not able to pick up the loose change on the left side. Ended up in the hands of Vince Magbuhos. Basket plus the foul.
Vince Magbuhos only has 4 points but does have 5 rebounds and 7 assists. 7 minutes remaining here in regulation. Steal again by the Quezon Huskers. Judel Fuentes already has 8 points in this quarter.
Whatever happens in this game, Pasig City certainly has a lot to draw from this matchup against Quezon. Dealing with the best defensive team, how to tweak things on your offense to make sure you give yourselves a chance of getting a decent look offensively, and to also see where your conditioning is at. Obviously, I don't think it's 100% right now, seeing as to how Quezon has really ran them to the ground. It's made them work on both sides of the floor. Nasabi ko na kanina, defensively, it's been really hard for Pasig City to stay in front of Quezon because of the crisp passing that the Huskers have exhibited, and also on the offensive end. Pag umo-opensa dito ang Pasig City, pinapahirapan ng Quezon hanggat sa mapapagod ng Pasig, kakaikot ng bola with no clear intention of what's gonna happen to them. Kaya naman, pag nakuha na ng Quezon ang turnover or when they get the rebound, nahuhuli sa paghabol sa fast break ang Pasig City.
6 minutes and 21 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. Pasig City, do they have one last comeback in them? Manalang, it's been that kind of an evening. Asidre momentarily open and nails that three-pointer.
Gaya na sinabi ni Lyra sa mga report niya kanina, no? Coach Aldrin Morante, I think right now will not care about the score here in the fourth quarter, especially ang importante sa kanya for his team to play the right way, to stick to the system, and to try and play to their best possible form through these last 5 minutes and 42.
Asidre forcing himself in, gets fouled.
I think nagabot ang dalawang to sa bacoor eh. Ito si Rocky at si Gabanal.
Was that during Gabanal's MVP season?
Yes. Let's see here. Another pass leading to an open shot. That's Banal going to Vince Magbuhos for that top of the key three.
Mosbody Encarnado, team owner of Pasig City. LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL. Abel Rivera comes in for the Huskers, as well as Jason Opiso. 68-45. The Quezon Huskers comfortably ahead, gunning for back-to-back wins. Suffered their first defeat at the hands of the Pasay Voyagers. Rebounded nicely against Quezon City, and here trying to add on a huge win over Pasig City. Gabanal scores his first field goal.
Those are the kinds of shots that we miss seeing from Gabanal. Doesn't really take a lot of them anymore.
Asidre whips it to Hobby Manalang. Galicia, fadeaway jumper. That's a tough shot. Gets that one in.
Definitely better shooting here in the fourth quarter for Pasig City, but this lead just too big to overcome at this point, especially with the way the Huskers have been playing.
Kanina kumakatok sila sa pinto eh, but they just couldn't get over the hump.
It's been consistency that's been lacking galing sa kanila. Obviously, they just started their season. Itong Quezon, they've already played 6 games. They already experienced heartbreak against the Pasay Voyagers, which I'm sure did a lot for them to evolve as a team. And that's why right now, compared to their first few games, they're on a different level.
And guys who are averaging in double figures for Pasig City, Keith Pido, Chito Jaime, and Robbie Manalang. As you see, Pido knocked in his 7th point. Yun nga eh, lahat sila below double figures in this ball game.
I'd like to see the fight continue here for Pasig City. I'm curious to see how big they can chop off of this lead.
Still enough time. Under 4 minutes to go, they get a stop. 21-point lead, still possible. But they have to change the trend. Robbie Manalang, scoreless in the last 3 quarters. Chito Jaime as well, going up against Jason Opiso. Robbie Manalang, wala pa din.
Manalang only with 3 points in this game. He's 1 out of 10 from the field. Those 2 guys that were involved in that 2-man action, Robbie Manalang and Chito Jaime, they are a combined 2 out of 11 in this game. Sorry, no. 2 out of 20.
That shot won't go for Rocky Asidre. Travera, nasundutan ni Keith Pido. Magkakataon muli para dito sa Pasig City. Great find. Oh, extra pass leads to this basket by Jacob Galicia. Exactly 3 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. Our player of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. And Keith Pido with another time to Jacob Galicia, but they're still down by 17. 70 to, actually 19 points, 70 to 51.
Lenny Pacquiao, 50 tayo.
Para sa 100%'ong pag-unlad,
50 si Manny.
Para sa 100%'ong pagbabago,
50 si Manny.
para sa 100%'ong paglilingkod,
si Manny.
Lenny Pacquiao.
para sa 100%'ong Pinas.
50 ka.
50 tayo. 50 si MB. Hati mo, si Manny.
Good-sized crowd inside the Olivares College Gymnasium. Our fan of the game is brought to you by LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Back-to-back baskets by Jacob Galicia. Pero malaki pa rin ang kalamangan dito ng Quezon Huskers. 70-51 is the score. The Huskers, a win here would solidify their spot at the top 6-1 record. Kung saaling manalo sila dito, heading into the Holy Week break. Lagrama, all day to shoot. Knocks that one down from beyond the arc.
Only 1 3-point make para sa Huskers in the first half. They've already had 5 here in the second half.
Chito Jaime against Jason Opiso. Has yet to score here in the second half. And he gets fouled by Jason.
See this two-man action. Jason Opiso working with Topeng Lagrama and nobody rotating on over to Lagrama, who was wide open for that 3-point shot. Pido just caught in that screen that was set by Jason Opiso.
Chito Jaime, 17 points, 13 in the first half against Bulacan. Double-double performance for him. 17 and 10. And curiously, ito si Chito Jaime, as he doesn't get the bounce on the second free throw. Ito si Chito Jaime, no? Won a championship sa NAASCO, won a title in the PBA, but still no titles to show dito sa MPBL. Although he had 3 national finals appearances.
Correct, yes.
With Muntinlupa back in Season 1, Season 4, Zamboanga, and then the latest was with Bacoor in Season 5 as we are down to the last 2 minutes of the ball game. Christian Pagaran, the jump shot works for the former perpetual standout.
He's always been with elite company, ito si Chito Jaime, dun sa mga teams na linaroan niya. This actually might be, no offense to Pasig City, the least talented of them all. But certainly this is a team which he can be a leader of, and I'm sure that's what he is right now for this team. And there's gonna be more work to be done para sa kanya considering lesser talent around him. And that's why I think Quezon, coming into this game, the main objective para sa kanila was to put Robbie Manalang and Chito Jaime out of the equation, which they successfully did.
Virtually non-existent talaga silang dalawa dito until those last string of points from Chito Jaime. And we mentioned Robbie Manalang. He is back after playing for Binyan last year, played limited minutes. This was Chito Jaime with the drive to the basket.
He's had to bleed for every one of his points in this game. It's just been really hard for him. He's had a long night against multiple defenders and multiple defensive schemes.
It's been a long week for Commissioner Captain Marbel, Kenneth Dorendes. He's joined by Head of Operations, Emer Oreta, and Rudy Distrito. Of course, nag-ikot-ikot si Com, di ba?
Yes, oo. Busy yan ngayon.
Mark Montuano, 26 points, 11 rebounds. This is his MPBL career high in terms of points.
Virtually unstoppable in that game, only missing one shot from the field. 11 out of 12, but sa laro na to, first half, he was already at 3 personal fouls. He did get a number of baskets here in the second half. Pero isa rin siya sa mga taong, I'm sure, pinaghandaan ng gusto nitong Quezon. Just because of that game as well against Bulacan. They knew that momentum was gonna be in his side coming into this match. At alam nila na magiging mataas ang kumpiyansa niya coming into this game. And so, there were also a lot of guys really trying to shackle him, and they did that successfully as well.
Next 3 games ng Quezon Huskers after the Holy Week break. They will take on Manila Batang Quiapo on April 26, followed by those 2 mouth-watering matchups, Pangasinan and Pampanga in the month of May.
It's gonna be a nice road trip para sa kanila.
Parehong home and away situation yata yan eh. Sa Pasig City naman, April 25, laban sa Davao Occidental Tigers on the 29th.
Di rin mabigat, ano?
Oo, ito sa Buanga Sikat, tapos Pampanga. Pagpasok ng buwan ng Mayo. Yung sinasabi natin, Javi, there's no such thing as an easy matchup now, especially in this season.
Nobody has an easy schedule. Okay, you may start going up against teams that might be at the lower side in terms of the team standings. Pero after ilang games, makikita mo rin yung mga malalakas na teams. And marami na tayong malakas na teams this season. That's why every game is very important for each squad here this year, especially those who have aspirations to go into a deep playoff run. At lalo na ngayon kasi may bago tayong feature sa ating tournament format. That's the play-in tournament, which gives a chance for teams from the 8th to the 10th position, from the 9th to the 10th position to make it into the playoffs. Of course, they will be battling the 8th seed in that play-in tournament to have a chance to get that final spot in each division sa ating postseason.
And that's gonna be an interesting wrinkle, especially late in our season, especially with how teams have been stacked. Sa North Division nga, no? The number 1 and number 7 team just separated by 2 games. And here, Quezon, this is a huge win, not only because they win it by 19 points, but they head into the Holy Week break as the number 1 team. After suffering their very first loss, they have bounced back with 2 consecutive victories, and the latest against the Pasig City.
It was a masterful performance para dito sa Quezon Huskers. Multiple guys in double figures para sa kanila. Judel Fuentes had 10, LJ Gonzalez had 10, Gabayni had the same number, and then Vince Magbuhos, Jason Opiso coming in with 7. JP Sarao was the one who top scored para sa kanila, and then with 6 rebounds as well, and that's why he was our pick for player of the game. Ang dami sanang pwede, but we had to choose one, and it was JP Sarao.
And it's brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. JP Sarao, a welcome addition in the title aspirations of the Quezon Huskers, who take care of business here against Pasig City. Our final score, 75 for the Quezon Huskers and 56 for Pasig City. Itong Pasig suffering their very first loss. While itong Quezon Huskers nga, no, now at 6-1. Let's turn you over to Miss Lyra Punsalan.
I'm with the best player of the game, JP Sarao of the Quezon Huskers. JP, congratulations. You guys are now in your back-to-back victory for Quezon Huskers. Maganda yung hustle plays mo. And it's really true na collective effort nga palagi ang Quezon Huskers. Anong plano nyo to keep the momentum and to stay in shape lalo na mahaba ang bakasyon?
Siguro individual discipline na lang. Kanya-kanya kaming workout sa bahay kasi alam naman natin break yung yung Holy Week. So tiwala naman sa amin si coach na hindi kami magpapabaya bawat isa.
May mga vacation plans ka pa na gusto mong i-share?
Hindi, baka sa bahay lang magnilay-nilay kasama yung family. Ayun, tapos extra workout lang para hindi mawala sa kondisyon.
Any greetings?
Binabati ko nga pala sila Governor Helen Tan, Boss RD, Kong Mike, Doc Kim Tan, Mayor Ralph Lim, at saka yung 4K party list. Yung kapatid ni Tamsi, Adrian Tamsi, tagalaban ng damit niya, pasabay na din ng mga damit namin. Yung family ko, sa ate rin ko, Kuya Chris, at saka sa baby namin na bago, sa anak nila, si Janjan, si Daddy, si Tatay, si AC, yung mga kaibigan ko dito, sila Peli, yung family ng girlfriend ko, si Tita Josie, si Kenji, si Andeng, si Kirby, si Joe, tsaka yung girlfriend ko, si Eliza Lerio. Hindi, tama yun. Tsaka pasensya na sa mga hindi ko mababate, si Tita Mick ng Luisa Sons. Maraming salamat sa lahat, tsaka ingat kayo.
Mali yata yung girlfriend. Okay, our best player of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Ken and Javi?
Na okay pa ni Lyra. Ito si JP Sarao. Congratulations to JP Sarao and the rest of the Quezon Huskers. Up next, Pasay Voyagers will take on the Parañaque Patriots in search of their very first victory, and they will try to defend their home court for a second time just before the Holy Week. And keep it here on the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.